Welcome back to the Green Beans Go channel. It's your host, me, and you're getting me raw and uncut at 11:18 p.m. I was about to go to bed, and I can't get this off my mind. I can't get this situation that we see ourselves in on gambling Twitter out of my head. And I have a lot to say, and I'm not even going to say I'm right. In fact, I'm willing to say I am wrong. But I need you guys to understand something, and I need the world to hear this message. That's a little bit of an exaggeration, but I'm sick. I'm sick of the plus EV crowd talking, okay? And if they can talk, I can talk. And that is the moral of this video before we even get started. So if you do not know, this has been in the sports betting world, the news for a while now. In fact, ESPN actually pushed out an alert letting everyone know who subscribes to ESPN, who has the app, that this guy cashed out his ticket. He had a $100 ticket with a 50% parlay boost, might I add, to pay $1.7 million on the Thunder to win this year's NBA Finals, the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl, which they did, and the Rangers to win the World Series, which they did. All he was waiting for is the Thunder to win the Finals this year for $1.7 million. And he's seen a roller coaster of cash out options. And again, this has been something that people have been discussing. This is not a news story that just popped up today. Oh, a guy cashed out. Let's all put our opinions out there. The people who are sharing their opinions could have easily done that throughout this whole ride. Hey, by the way, if you think about cashing out, here are some options. I didn't see any of that. I just saw a lot of people saying, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Well, he explains in this 43-minute video that he cashed out. And he actually shows himself cashing out. And he said a couple of very interesting things before we get into some of the reactions of people online, which we're going to talk about too. He says in this video, one, he's a single dad, and $80,000 would mean a lot to him. That's how much he cashed out for. I don't know if I said that. He cashed out for $80,000. $80,000 would help him out, okay? And he also said that the night prior to Game 4, if OKC wins and the cash out goes to $80,000, I'm taking it. All right, so let's just talk about a realistic perspective. All these EV guys, like, your math, it's awesome, bro. Like, go hump an abacus if you love math so much. At the end of the day, you have to live a life. And a single dad of 4 looking at $80,000 and accepting it, the fact that people would even think about criticizing him is unfathomable to me. Okay, unfathomable to me. It's ridiculous. 2, what tells me that this guy, math aside, EV aside, what you think is best for his bankroll aside, what tells me that this guy will be okay in terms of betting and in terms of how he approaches gambling is he made himself a promise. He said, if they win and they get to $80,000, the cash out, I will accept it. And what did he do? He held that promise to himself. And a lot of you are going to scoff at that and say, well, it was a stupid promise. Oh, he shouldn't have done it anyway. It's a bad decision to begin with. For a sports bettor to have the self-control to make themselves a promise and stick to it, that's huge. If you've bet sports for a while, you know how difficult that sort of mindset is, right? And he was able to do that. So good on him. Let's look at some of the responses from the internet today. This is the one that got me to respond. I responded to this guy, and I didn't respond. Actually, I quoted this, and I said, let's just start over because I'm frustrated, okay? He tweets, this is legit insane. Per current odds, the Thunder have an 11 chance to win it all, which means this ticket was worth roughly $190,000. He sold it for $80,000. And I said, I quoted this, and I said, this is the problem with the EV space. We can't be happy for this guy who just made $80,000. We have to put him down for this decision based on math. Guess what? You know what I just read? Per current odds, the Thunder have an 89% chance to lose. Per current odds, there's an 89% chance this guy walks away with nothing. If you're going to give me we'll call it a 1 in 10 shot. You want a 1 in 10 shot to win $1 million, or you want $80,000 right now? Okay, I get one chance. This isn't the long run. EV guys want to just the long run. Okay, sorry, that's violently inappropriate. I'm fired up. Okay, the long run. When is he ever going to have another chance like this? And you're going to say, oh, he's not going to have another chance, which is why you got to let it ride. Well, I can also say he's not going to have another chance like this, which is why you take the $80,000. Okay, you give me you give me 10 cards laying out. Okay, 1 through 10, and you say if you draw the 4, you get him 1.7 million, or you can have $80,000 right now and not touch the cards. I'd probably say, yeah, I'll take $80,000. Thank you. It's more than I had this morning when I woke up. He responded to me and basically called me stupid and said I wasn't wise for him taking the cash out. Okay, EV Bets Canada says made 80,000 on a bet and lost 80,000 on the cash value. Break even? Break even? Heartbreaking that nobody guided him before he did this. Where were you, EV Bets Canada? You're chronically online, and you're not saying I'm being so mean. I'm being so mean. I'm sorry, EV Bets Canada. I don't know you. You may be a great guy. The point is, why didn't you guide him? Okay, and we'll talk about guidance in a second, what that means. Speaking of, PropSwap. PropSwap is a website where you can exchange tickets with other customers. So PropSwap says this would have sold for $200,000. We have plenty of buyers ready to purchase. Okay, first of all, I'm just calling cap. That's absolute cap. There is no way that you guys had plenty, plural, more than one buyer ready to shell out almost $250,000 of liquid assets for OKC finals future. Okay, I go to their website because how reasonable is this? Here's what you have to keep in mind: the game is tomorrow. Game 6 is tomorrow. If OKC loses that game, it's over. Game goes back to Dallas. Game 6. The series is done. The guy loses $100. Okay, loses $80,000. You know, if you think about how the promise he made to himself. This is not something that he can sit on and just debate. Okay, he has to make moves quickly. I find it very hard to believe that in a matter of 24 to 36 hours, they would find a way to get somebody to shell out $200,000. I went to their website. Like I said, the tickets that they deal with are paper tickets. When I went to the FAQ, because I wanted to see how does this guy whose wager is strictly on DraftKings, is tied to his name and his betting account, how does he sell that? Right? Like logistically, think about that. All these Twitter keyboard EV math boys with their TI 89 whatever, they seem to know all this stuff logistically. And I'm not trying to be funny. Somebody type it out and be very detailed. Logistically, how does a guy like Ascended 85 go about moving a bet from his DraftKings account to someone else's? Is it just an agreement? Like, hey, give me $201,000 right now, and if the Thunder win, I will collect the $1.7 million from DraftKings, which they will withhold taxes from, and then I will give you it. But I have to pay the taxes on it because it's in my name. Like, why are we talking about how this was so easy? This guy's such an idiot. He lost $80,000. Please walk me through the steps of how he transfers this ticket, because I don't think it's as easy as people are saying on here. Everyone gets to make their own decisions for their life, but this is wildly minus EV from any number of angles. Brandon, please, how about you say, congrats, man. What an awesome bet you made. I'm glad you're walking away with 80K. Don't bet it if you can't handle the roller coaster. The entire point is to get the best of the number, not to give it back once you do. Give what back, brother? He won $80,000. What? Got to be willing to lose to win. You know what he won? $80,000. You know what he lost? The Twitter EV rep. Who cares? He cashed an $80,000 ticket, and I saw more people mad, calling him an idiot. Like, this is how I know sports betting is not about sticking it to the books. Okay, it's not about what people talk about. I want to make you money, right? It's us versus the sports books. This is a big win for a dude. Okay, in all likelihood, 9 times out of 10, DraftKings is going to make the money. DraftKings just had to pay this guy $80,000. Okay, and guys, I get it. Okay, I get the math. I understand. But sometimes a guy's sitting there with children that he has to provide for. He's not in a space to say, kids, I could really get a good start on your college fund. We could fix the engine problems with my car. You could have the best Christmas you guys have ever had. But, the guys on Twitter are saying we gotta trust the math. And if the math means none of that happens, you can't, it's not about the math, guys. For once, can we take a step back and just say, maybe and here's the deal. Okay. And this is the last thing I'll say before we end. Good for you, Ascended 85. If you somehow see this video, 2 thumbs up, my guy. And I'm sorry that you had to go through the publicity of all this. Okay. If there was a legitimate, feasible, realistic, easy way that he could have sold that ticket for $200,000, for $160,000, he would have. Okay, let's stop. All you EV geniuses, think critically for 2 minutes about how he actually practically goes about exchanging in under 24 to 36 hours a ticket on his account to someone else that he doesn't know. Like, be for real. All right? Good for you, man. My EV hate grows deeper every second. Argue with me in the comments. I'm not engaging. Because he's right. He's right. Take care. Be blessed. I love you all.